Now for what's trending in true crime, a Georgia man looking for Tylenol at his local Walmart has found himself behind bars accused of attempted kidnapping. This is Mehandra Patel. He's due in court for a bond hearing today after a grand jury indicted him on April 3rd on attempted kidnapping charges. Patel has been in jail for over 40 days since his arrest, and according to his attorney, this is going to be his first appearance in front of a judge. Patel's attorney is releasing the surveillance footage of the incident, and you can see after walking around the store, the father of two appears to grab the child of the accuser. Well, one side is saying he's trying to take the child away, but the other side is saying he was just helping the mother with her two kids when the one child looked like he was going to fall. They meet again in the store, and Patel walks away, even continuing his shopping. So what do you make of this incident? Here's another look at that footage. We're asking, should Patel be in jail right now? Let's bring in our power panel guest. Still with me, attorney Melba Pearson. I want to welcome in private investigator and military veteran Manuel Gomez. Good morning to you both. Manuel, would you start us off? What do you see when you look at that footage?
Well, I see that this case is unfortunately prosecuting an innocent man. She's alleging that he tried to take her child. But when you see that little moment that he does touch the child, she turns around and smiles at the person next to her, which is the guy in the peach shirt, okay? And you see, he actually sees the whole thing. But there's something else even more egregious in this case. The evidence is showing in this case that this man is innocent, and the prosecutor is failing to do the right thing. This lady has a history of lying under oath. She's currently in a civil lawsuit against Lyft for sexual assault, and she accused them of being raped. The police report shows that she lied and she never was. And again, this evidence is going to come out, and not only that evidence, but the fact that the police officers have lied, stating this man fled the store, ran out, there was a scuffle. None of this occurred. This is just another egregious case.
Wow. Manuel, thank you for that. We're going to have to do some digging here at Court TV because we have not confirmed that. But thank you for that. That's something we need to look into and see if this woman does have any history of making up anything false. We know the prosecution convened a grand jury. Melba, I wanted to ask you about that. We were in our editorial room yesterday saying, didn't the prosecutor have the video? One would think they would at the grand jury presentment, but maybe not. I would love your thoughts on that aspect, please.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with Manny's assessment, and I'm going to go one step further. She's giving me Karen vibes, and the kind of Karen that destroys people's lives, that cause people to get killed. And if this is true, and I have no doubt that Manuel's on point with his investigation, but if this is true, she should be prosecuted for filing a false police report, and Mr. Patel and his family should be also suing her for, for all of that. But I digress. But the point is, in terms of the grand jury, the prosecution can select what evidence they present to the grand jury. There is no ethical obligation or rule that the prosecution has to share everything that they have as part of discovery. They can cherry pick what they'd like to show and what they don't. And unfortunately, it seems like the prosecutor in this case cherry picked the evidence that was most favorable to the alleged victim in this case. And again, the whole thing just flies in the face of common sense because the man in the peach shirt witnessed the entire thing. He looked and he turned around and walked away. He didn't give any indication of, oh my gosh, this woman is in distress. Let me jump in and try to help her. So this is giving a lot of vibes. I don't want to go there with, the racism card, but I got questions. This is Georgia. We all know that it's, part of the South, not going to paint the entire state with the same brush, but there are people that hold very racist views there, and I really hope this is not a situation where he was wrong place, wrong time, and caught up in a racist situation.
No, but we love you. Thank you for bringing that up. That was actually what we planned to bring up in our next question to you both. So let's tackle this issue together. So unconscious bias, what we see may not be what somebody else does, right, based on our own individual life experiences. And so looking at this video, we're wondering, could there have been an overreaction to the situation, the complaint by this woman, and then the quick arrest and the grand jury indictment of Mr. Patel. This is how Caroline Miller, the accuser, describes it. She said, quote, "When I pointed my arm out this way to point it to the direction of where the Tylenol was, that's when he reached down, put both of his hands on the boy, and grabbed him out of my lap." She goes on to say, "I'm like, no, no, what are you doing?" He pulled him, I pulled him back. We were tug-of-warring. Patel's attorney, Ashley Merchant, insists that there was no struggle or any battery done by her client. And there's a faction of supporters online, and we wanted to pay attention to it, saying there may be unconscious bias at play going on here. So, fair question, let's tackle it now. Manuel, your thoughts on that, please.
Well, I agree that this case right now shows that this man did not kidnap this kid and that the tug of war did not happen. What did happen was you see her look at the guy with the peach shirt. She smiles. He goes off, gets the Tylenol, and then comes back and walks by her and shows it to her, and she gives him a thumbs up. Any man that would have grabbed the woman's child, she would have been screaming from help from high heaven, and at this case, none of that occurred. Again, do I believe, like my partner said, this is a race card? I don't like to go down that road, but unfortunately, I think this case is based on his race and that this lady's deliberately being biased and saw an opportunity to possibly sue Walmart and this man. And if you look right there at that video, you see her smiling. There was no threat. She was not in fear.
I appreciate the analysis, Manuel. Thank you. Melba, to you next, please. Do you think that there could be something to what many of these online supporters are saying with unconscious bias at play?
Okay, I'm going to be real blunt. Unconscious bias is when you make a decision and you're kind of used to, you know, it's like an unconscious decision where you're like, oh, you're giving the benefit of the doubt the wrong way, right? This is more of a deliberate intent. Unconscious bias is this not unconscious. It's not deliberate. This is deliberate, okay? It is very clear that there was no tug of war. It's very clear that she's lying from this. So to move forward with this case, with this exculpatory evidence right there, the fact that Walmart security barely got involved until the end of this, he went, actually paid for the Tylenol, left the store, and then this is when all the drama ensued. This is a deliberate effort. So this is beyond unconscious. This is either somebody was blind completely or somebody was racist, period, end of story.
Melba, I love it. Thank you for being so blunt. You know, something else, as we're watching this again and again, I'm just thinking about, and quickly, Mel, before we have to let you go, this woman in that motorized, you know, cart, I'm wondering about her physical ability, you know, because I wonder, could there have been any sympathy maybe for her if someone thought, oh gosh, this woman, you know, almost had her kid taken, couldn't get up to chase him, maybe because of some physical impairment, who knows? You know, and if this was staged by her, who knows? Who knows? I know you're suspicious of her, Manuel. You know, could that have all been part of this? I just can't help it. Something's bothering me now as I watch it. Melba, quick final thoughts before we have to say goodbye.
Yeah, I don't see the sympathy aspect because, again, she could have screamed to the guy that she had been interacting with for assistance. She could have screamed for store personnel to come help her. That's complete BS. No.
Yeah, I mean, I wondered if she deliberately was in the motorized car. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I'd be curious to know if she needs that to get around the store. Mel was saying no, doesn't think so. I've loved both of your analysis on this one. Thank you. We're trying to talk with Ashley Merchant, his attorney, see if we can get her on the program and dig in some more.